Hey, my name is Jeff with Top Star Detailing Las Vegas. Today we're going to go over a little bit just what costs are involved with running a detail business. Starting with your vehicle, you're going to have your expenses for your car insurance. Then you also have, for me, I have insurance for my trailer. So if anything happens to that, it gets in a wreck or it gets broken into or stolen, that's not going to be a total loss. That's going to be covered as well. And then on top of that, you have to have insurance for your business. This would be separate from your auto policy, your trailer or van, whatever it is you have. This would be more for if you were to damage a client's vehicle. Say maybe the door gets dinged or you have a tent over it and the wind catches it and blows the leg of the tent onto the car. Those are things that you don't want to have to come out of pocket for, especially if you're dealing with high-end cars. You're dealing with, a Mercedes or a Bentley or something along those lines. That could cost you thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars to fix. So me personally, I go with the best insurance possible. I'm covered. Even if someone slips on the soap on their driveway from you, foaming up their car, they come out, or they trip over your pressure washer hose, whatever it could be, you want to make sure that you're covered. So you want to be licensed, incorporated, and have your insurance so that you're covered for all these things. If you're just doing it on your own as a side gig, if something happens, you're personally liable and they can come after you for that. So that's the way that I run my business. As far as some of the other costs that are involved, you have fuel costs. So for me, this vehicle gets horrible fuel mileage. It's fun to drive and it looks good pulling around the trailer, but without the trailer, I'm getting, I think, around 13 miles to the gallon. With the trailer, I'm getting probably like 11 miles to the gallon. Over the course of a month, I'm spending roughly $1,000 to $1,200 just in gas alone. That's between my vehicle and running the generator in the back, which you also has to fill up every day. You're going through probably a gallon of gas.
All right, Jeff. So, did you get this BMW for the trailer, or you already had it?
I already had it. I had bought this a while ago, and I was actually looking at trading it in and getting like a pickup truck to tow it, or possibly a different vehicle, but this was already paid off. And when I was shopping around, the prices for trucks were just ridiculous. Like for what you could get for $30,000, $40,000 on a used truck. It was all super high mileage and just, it didn't make sense for me. So I just said I'm gonna go with this and try to get as much as I can out of it. And hopefully it's good to me for the next year or two, and then I'll explore that avenue when I have to.
Personal car insurance, commercial insurance,
yep,
business insurance.
Yep.
How much is that, man? Roughly.
It's a lot. So here in Vegas, we have the most expensive vehicle insurance in the country because the drivers are so bad here. There's a very high theft rate. There's a lot of accidents. I mean, we just saw one here earlier, right across the street while we were working.
So there's a car accident happened over there, and there's broken window over here.
Yeah, I mean, you see busted out glass in two different spots there.
And then look, this one right here.
Yeah, so I mean, our insurance in Vegas, it really is like 3 times the cost of anywhere else in the nation. And then your business insurance altogether, I'd say I'm probably spending $700-800 a month in insurance. But again, that's good insurance where if something happens to me, I'm going to be covered and it's not going to be an issue. Do what's right for you and your business, Aside from that, some of the other expenses that you have here in Vegas, the water is absolutely terrible, so you can't use tap water to clean cars. I have to go and get deionized water every day. 60 gallons or 55 gallons of water is roughly like $5-6 to do that. And then usually going through, it's not a ton, but $10 to $15 a day probably in spot-free water. My system does also make its own spot-free water. If I run out, I can fill up at a client's house, but those filters have to be changed, and that's even more expensive to go that route. It costs me even more money if I do that. Then you have your chemicals, all the different chemicals. The stuff I use mainly is gonna be premium products. So, those aren't cheap, even though you dilute them to a certain amount. when you're going through volume like I am, where you're doing 4 vehicles, 5 vehicles a day, every day, all week long, you're going to go through a lot of product. You're going to constantly be having to reorder more product, more product. I would say over the course of the month, I'm probably going through about $100 a week in product, so about $400 a month in product. Some other things that you have to plan and budget for would be like maintenance. All of my equipment I bought brand new. It doesn't mean that it's maintenance free and I haven't had my issues. So every couple months I have to have this serviced. I have to have the oil changed in the generator. You have to have the oil changed in your pressure washer. These things have to be done pretty much every other month. Hey guys, we're back. We had to switch locations from the last detail. Now we're over at one of my fleet accounts, but just to pick up where we left off, we were talking about expenses with the detailing business. We left off with maintenance on the equipment. So like having your oil changed on your generator, your pressure washer, and then just general maintenance with the trailer. Like I've already had to replace the tires on the trailer because they were starting to wear. Repairs on my vehicle as far as your brakes go, suspension, just things like that that you really don't think about, but all of those things will come into play as a business owner. So just keep that stuff in mind. Some of the other expenses that I have, I do pay somebody to do my SEO, and that's like on an annual basis. So I believe the cost for that was right around $1,200, and they just kind of fine-tune my SEO. They keep up with my website, my Google page, make sure that it's optimized. They'll adjust keywords from time to time. So it's not something that you have to have with that, but I like to have somebody in charge of that and handling that for me. Some of the other expenses that you might have, I've got Ray's here right now doing videos for YouTube, which is money well spent. In my opinion, he's way underpriced for his services. But you know, we'll see how that goes. Again, that's just kind of getting my name out there and getting started with the YouTube. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while, but I just don't have the free time myself or the bandwidth to be doing video editing and stuff after detailing in the sun for 10, 12 hours a day. So my man Ray's is going to be taking care of that for me, and we're going to probably be doing another follow-up series in October, November to go from there and see how the journey's going and keep up with you guys. So another potential expense that you may or may not have that I had for a while with my trailer, I was living at another place. They don't allow commercial vehicles where I'm at. My homeowners association won't allow them in the street or the driveway, so I was not able to park this in front of the house, and because of this little bowed roof here, I couldn't fit it in the garage. So depending on what type of setup you guys have, you may have to pay for some type of storage. I ended up having to pay for a storage unit that I could pull this inside and lock up every night, which I went a little large on the storage. I went with like an RV size storage, which ran me somewhere around $700 a month to do that. But I was also doing my ceramic coatings out of there and using it as somewhat of a shop for like paint correction and ceramic coatings. I've since moved on to another place now where I do have available storage, so that bill went away. But it's just something to think about. If you're driving a unit that's a commercial unit, you may or may not have to store it depending on what your living situation is. Hey guys, so those are just some of the costs that are associated with running a business like mine. It's going to vary a lot from business to business depending on the setups that you're running and the amount of volume that you're doing, but just wanted to give you a little insight into some of that. What are some of the business expenses that you guys have? Maybe I missed out on some. Drop them in the comments below. Let me know what you think, okay? And I'm only going to be dropping more knowledge on you guys from here, so please like and subscribe, follow along with the journey. Thanks.